You are a witch. I would have loved to hear these words as a child. In fact, I'd made my mom send me the Hogwarts letter on my 11th birthday. During my entire childhood, I loved witchcraft and kept waiting for my own magic powers to appear. A witch was cool and powerful and free. She could fly, she could put a spell on her enemies. You are a witch. These words can kill. A few months ago, I met someone. People said she was a witch, but she didn't have a magic wand. She had no potions, no broom. She walked into the room wearing cheap sneakers and a pink backpack. Her hair was in colorful braids. I introduced myself and she gave me a hug. It was the first time I met someone who had never gone to school. The first time I met someone who had crossed the sea on a tiny boat. The first time I met someone who was wanted by the police for who they loved. And the first time I met someone who had been accused of being a witch. It has been 5 months since meeting the alleged witch. The week after the first meeting was the worst. I got a dramatic phone call about sudden deportation and spent hours with her in a cold legal advice office. She cried and I didn't hug her. I tried to stay calm and stable, doing translations and looking for pragmatic solutions. Children were playing in the waiting room. I asked if she liked kids, and she said, "Of course." Later, she told me she had been forced into pregnancy twice, and both babies were taken away from her. At the end of the day, I wished her a good night and said everything was going to be fine. Later, I fell crying into my girlfriend's arms. How could this person exist? How could I live with the fact that there are hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people who go through life suffering? Privilege is more than white, middle-class, European. Privilege can mean not having to see things, believing in a world that makes sense, masking child labor and forced prostitution and hunger and war behind abstract terms and dark humor, turning off the news when pictures get too depressing, donating some money every once in a while. This person who's not a witch, who's never been free, who's so warm and vibrant and wise, yet so incredibly broken, this person made me question if I had ever known what justice was. After meeting her, I felt stuck in guilt and pain and powerlessness. Nothing I do can undo the terrible things that happened to her, and I cannot even provide her a stable future or all the social support she needs. So I've been trying and failing and trying again to focus on the little things that I can do, even if it feels like they're not enough. I've had to accept 2 things. First, the world is not fair. And second, I'm not a witch.